Hey, what's up everyone? I wanted to talk about getting a modern muscle car and what the experience is actually like. I've had a Mustang GT, a 2015 GT, and I got a Camaro SS1le now. So, you know, it's the Ford Chevy game. I haven't really owned a Dodge yet. So let's break it down. So there's a few things that are immediately going to turn you off when it comes to buying one of these cars, and that is the dealership experience. The dealerships, at least for the most part, I know there's exceptions out there and some people got some good dealers, but for the most part the dealerships are pretty horrible. They don't really want to fix anything. They'll get you in for an oil change, you know, which you could just do yourself, which I suggest you do yourself. But as far as getting anything fixed or looked at, you're gonna have a hassle. It's gonna be a game. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't worry about purchasing a extended warranty because they don't really back their warranty as it is. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. So in my experience, I had a little bit of clutch chatter, and I still do, but I can't get anybody to fix it. So I've been to two dealerships. One said it was due to low user input, which I don't know how I can make my car have clutch chatter. And another dealer just said, nope, we never saw anything. And this, you know, I had to drop the car off the entire day, get a rental for myself, you know, so I paid money just to have them tell me nothing's wrong with it. Even following up with a phone call and saying, you know, maybe I could show you your ticket, or how much would it cost for a new clutch, return no phone calls back to me. So these are both Southern California dealers. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but if you buy a 1SS1le, you're gonna get obviously the non-Bose stereo. So obviously there's no Bose logos or anything like that down there. It's just, you know, I mean, you still get a nice screen and everything in the whole Android Auto experience, and the audio isn't that horrible, but it's not good. And you're gonna want to add something. Now this is the difference. A 1SS and a 1SS1le stereos are actually different, and I wish I had maybe known that. So you can't just go in there and upgrade the amp and bada bing bada boom, everything's happy. No, there is no amp. So your full speakers are powered by the head unit, which sucks. And if you want to amplify those or throw an amp on them, you're going to get increased door chimes, and there's a big old thing to it. If anybody knows audio for cars and can tell me what to buy to do it all, I'm down to look into it. Just, you know, throw it in the comments or whatever. So that's something you should probably know. At least that's a 1SS1le difference between just a 1SS. And of course the 2SS comes with the Bose stereo, which I believe is a whole nother problem of trying to upgrade. However, it sounds a lot better. Specific to a Camaro, of course, is the transmission, which is one excellent, but this car is really built and set up to go fast. It is happiest when it is going fast. It doesn't like to go slow. It doesn't like to be, you know, nannied. It wants to go fast, and that's where the gear shifts smoother. When the transmission's fully warmed up, it shifts very smooth, kind of buttery almost. The car is really happy when it's going fast. Now, when you first start up in your first drive of the day, your first gear to second gear shift, it's never good. It's never good. As a matter of fact, I do first to third or first to fourth because I'm just getting out. I don't have to speed up too much. It's not a big deal. So it'll feel kind of clunky before the transmission actually warms up, and the manufacturer of the transmission says this as well: let it warm up. It's just a characteristic of the vehicle and the transmission, and you get a really well built transmission with that. So that's the advantage there, is you get a really strong transmission. Now Ford has a Chinese built transmission, what the hell is that, the T56. I gotta open this bottle, yo. All right, Ford has an MT82 manual transmission, and it's a Chinese made transmission. Yeah, that's real, and they have a lot of problems with it, go figure. And the manual guys got to rebuild their transmission as they go up and put more power to them, whereas the Camaro's manual, you just throw power at it. You might have to replace your clutch when you start getting up there, but other than that, really good transmissions, but let it warm up. You got to be aware of that. Next thing I want to bring up is these Recaros. Okay, these are awesome, but one or two things here. Okay, so the bottom part's really soft. Look at this. Like, this is really nice. That's as easy, but the backing is not so. And you can see I'm putting the same amount of pressure on this as I am over here. And you could just tell that, yeah, there's an obvious difference. So these are kind of stiff and there's no lumbar support. A lot of people may not care about that. That's cool. And for me, these work, but I do wish there was a little bit more lumbar support. If they did that, that would be it. Something you should know about a SS1le is, if you notice, these seats are perforated. They actually have the holes in them. That's because these seats actually have the cooling fan and the heating built into them, which the 2SS have, but the 1SS doesn't. They just didn't wire them up. That's true, and it's verified. You could go on the forums and check stuff like that out. Gen 5 setup that you could do for the seat cooling, so the fans are activated with a switch and stuff like that, and that's cool. I don't really care about the cooling of the seats. I really want the seat heater. I don't really use seat cooling. I don't have a hot seat, you know, so I don't know. I want heated seats, so they're eventually coming out with that. So you won't lose that out if you buy a 1SS coming in the future. So overall, I gotta say that these are fantastic cars. They perform extremely well. People like them on the road. I've been driving around and, you know, just going through LA and stuff, you know, other muscle car drivers will see you and they're automatically just trying to race, and that's cool, but you know, I'm not always gonna run everybody, so you could sometimes you could just tell, like, oh, that dude is gonna run into a guardrail and kill somebody. And I'm not gonna be any part of that. But here, let's get out, let's take a look at this car. So it honks if you leave your key in the car. It's really annoying. I got the GoPro set up back here. I'm practicing with some stuff. Got a new license plate. It finally came in. The boilers look good, but they got to be tucked in a little bit more and brought up a little bit higher, so I'm gonna have a catback done. However, the car's looking good. The new front end, I love this. I love what they did. I like the 19s too, but you know, as time went on, I actually ended up liking the 20s a little bit more. The 17s and 18s, or the 16 to 18s looked really good too. You know, I don't mind. I like Camaros, so whatever year. I don't know why people get so crazy arguing over the years. They're good cars. What do you want? So I did have to recently, I had to replace a tire. Kind of sucked. I had to replace this tire here because a chunk of the sidewall came out on the inside of it, and I only noticed it when I was fixing some issues with the hubs. So yeah, so how much did it cost me? It was about $285. I had a ticking sound when I was taking hard turns. So if I would take a hard turn, put weight on the car, I hear like, yes, that's my example. Both sides though. And this started when I was on the canyons. So I pulled over, checked it out. I'm like, man, I don't see anything wrong. Did a little research. It turns out where the wheel meets the hub, if some rust builds up, that'll do it. So I took my wheels off to clean the hubs and the wheels where the rust builds up. I put a very thin layer of grease there so it doesn't rust again, and the problem is gone. However, this is a part of owning a Camaro. You could take it to the dealership and they'll sand it off and clean it up, but they won't put the grease so it'll come back. So you might as well just do it yourself. If you have one of these cars or you plan to get one of these cars, just take the wheels off and just put some grease on it, and then you won't even have to ever clean it. That's probably the best route. Buy one of these cars if you enjoy these cars. These are magnificent driving vehicles. It puts a smile on my face as I drive through the canyons. I really do enjoy this car. At this time in the point, I don't think there's any other car I want. If I could have a second car, I'd probably have a GTI as a daily driver. However, I like the Camaro as a daily driver. I like coupes. So, yeah, that's it. The trunk's really small. Really small. Like, you've seen trunks in Camaro videos. I know everybody has, but look. It's pretty useless. Now, this is cool with me. I'm a network engineer, so I just throw laptops and routers and maybe a switch or something like that back there. That's easy peasy, but yeah, that is a useless trunk. The cabin is useless. So check this out. People say there's no room for a third brake God, come on now. So people say there's no room for a brake handle on this car. Well, there is. If you look at the design of this thing, they could put a brake handle here, cut this off here, and make the storage compartment move back, and then there you go. So, I don't know. Instead, we got that. So, all right. Guys, I'm out. Have a good one. Just a little. Thanks, man. Don't tell the owners. Huh? Yeah. No, this thing, no. That's just stock V8. Yeah, a little bit of Borla. Thanks, bro. Have a good one, man. Dude, I don't even know, man. I had that water bottle up here and I just soaked. Look at this. That thing was full. So I hope you enjoyed your burnout, yo, because I'm soaked.